to write the questions down during the presentation, please do so. You will see bottom right a specific chat where you can write them down, and I'm gonna just take them at the end of the presentation in order to answer them together with Patrick. And of course, please know that the session will be recorded. Let me guide you through today's agenda. We are going to start with the objective of STS Partners webinars. We are going to give you a few information about STS and also introduce you to part of the team. We are going to speak about the current and future challenges in project management trainings. And at the end, we are going to have this exchange during the Q&A session. So about the objective of this year webinars. At STS, we are dedicated to empower partners and also individuals and organizations with the skills and the knowledge that you can employ in order to reach your goals. So this is very important for us, and we are here to support you and equip you with the latest techniques and the information and the tools in order to assure that you have all of the assets to grow your business and deliver cutting-edge project management trainings and tools. So this is why we want to make sure that you have all of the information that we do have, and that those informations are delivered in an efficient way. And this is why we are going to host during the first semester of this year 3 webinars. You can see, and you're here today to our first one, which talks about project management updates and the exchange at the end. And we are going to host a second one during March, which will be a focus on the SCS portfolio, product portfolio, and a third one in May, which will be focused on specific project management content. Thank you very much. I'm going to give now the word to Patrick Lehmann to go on and forward with the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Sarah, also for the introduction. A warm welcome also from my side to everyone, to you. It's really nice to see you all in numbers here at this conference. And even though it's a short presentation, but I think it's also the goal actually to exchange, that you can ask questions, that also share your experiences, that is certainly also the part on the goal of this conference. But let me first start about the short introduction about STS. Well, last couple of years we haven't been that much in contact, at least not, let's say, in person. But also that's the reason to update you on our staff before going into some other discussions as well. Well, we have now structured the STS in a way that we have basically also account management. One part is about clients, our direct clients. Then we do have all which is related to our resellers and public courses that we have. Then the second pillar is really about the products and the R&D that goes into that. And the third one is about marketing and management as well, really related to the organization. And put that into an organizational chart. I'm happy to have Monica here as my deputy. Then we have the management team that really is the account management for the clients with Alexandra Doswell, Alexandra Petty that joined us last year, and Daniel Xu, who is in China also to assure the support of our Chinese customers there as well. In regard to account management related to schools, resellers and public courses, we do have Nadine Barbe, who is already with us a couple of years, then Larissa Martin, who has joined you more than a year ago, and Susan Libera, who is still with us, but they will leave mid of this year. So I think most of you will have close contact with Larissa and Nadine, but also probably with our product team, which is Achille Gontran and Nimila Mahendran, who is now has joined us also to support the development of our products. Then R&D to support all the technical developments that we have, Michelle Zumbrunnen and Sarah, who introduced at this conference. Sarah Groh is our marketing manager, was already with us also over a year. That's the team that we have. The team is really also at disposal to you. And you have now some faces about that, but they have also joined the conference here, so they are here as well with me. Just also a short update about, well, certifications. We, as a project management training institute, we do certification preparation. Well, obviously we do PMI certifications and IPMA certifications. As you might have seen, we have been becoming a PMI authorized training partner. But we also now do collaborate more and more together with Hemsley Fraser, which is part of our group, and they cover Prince 2 and APM as well. So we are also capable to do together with Hemsley Fraser these certifications. We will see about developing the products as well that they need. So there will be also more collaboration on this part if there is a need from your side as well. Okay, with this first introduction, I would like to, let's say, generate a little bit, let's say, the ground for afterwards probably also discussion, and I ask myself a little bit more, what are the challenges of the project management training in the future? And starting with that, more in general, what are the challenges in terms of project management? So I've been looking into, well, research or short research about on the internet, what are the influences of future project, what are the challenges? And well, articles some years ago were more on this part about objectives, scopes, 3, and so on. New literature goes more and more about uncertainty, value creation, support of innovation. So I think there is dramatic change in terms of project management and what it is expected. There are some points that still are the same: poor communication, stakeholder disengagement. These are all, I think, subjects you know, and they still stay relevant. But I think more and more it's about the soft skill, it's about the human side of project management that we have to focus on. And this is also a little bit what we have experienced in the frameworks in terms of project management. And I've been looking at that as well, exactly, especially the changes in the standards. And you might have noticed as well, there is a lot going on recently. I try to summarize it here a little bit, also give some of my insights. But again, this is open for discussion as well. Certainly, PMI has changed rapidly or drastically as well with the new PMBOK guide that came out last year. They are definitely moving away from a process-driven project management approach and define more like performance domains or areas where a project manager has to be sound in and know what's going on to be also an effective project manager. But there is also the tendency, especially also with PMBOK 7, to integrate the adaptive and predictive, the iterative and the adaptive methods together with the predictive one. So the knowledge might be broadened as well. Tailoring has become an important part of this new book as well, how to adjust and how to adapt your project management methods to the project that you have to do. But also there is more like interpersonal skills and leadership that come into the focus. And last but not least, more like driven from, let's say, the agile as well, value creation. Next to that, also PMI has invested a lot in discipline agile, the new kind of approach to agile technologies and methodologies. They have a toolbox which can be used, which is again highly adaptable, focused really on giving the project management tools and methods that they can use in the daily life. Otherwise, there are other, let's say, changes as well. Now, the new will be changed, and the new exam outline is already there. We don't know when the exam is going to change, but what is important there as well, it's that it's focusing more on business analysis as well, It includes also agile methods and but also predictive ones. So again, here it is changing as well. And last but not least, I have heard also from a conference for ATPs that PMI is investing a lot in construction projects as well. So that's probably not that important right now for us, but what I think we can take out of there, it is really that PMI wants to be also more specific for industries that are of relevance to them as well, and try also there to create more like community so they can profit from each other. So these are certainly some important changes that we have faced with regard to PMI. And also in terms of let's say IPMA, the changes probably are a little bit less relevant. I think with the ICB3, they have been done already a good job in terms specifying the different areas they are working in and where competencies are needed for project managers. But recently they have also, even though they wanted to include Agile at the very beginning, they have been also defining Agile more specifically with specific guides, local ones or also international guides. And they extended also the certification toward leadership, an Agile leadership certification. And also going more into consulting and coaching. Kind of same tendency you see also with Prince 2. Prince 2 with the foundation practitioner level has been based on the 7 principles, 7 themes, and 7 processes. Really straight ahead method. But already there, they started also to focus on tailoring to adapt the project methods that you need to the project that you do. And also Prince 2 has created new Agile certification, also on 2 levels, according to the, let's say, predictive framework. And there are a lot of also other methodologies and in the field of Agile project management that develop. I'm not going more into that as well, but I think there is a significant change right now, and somehow the different standards they're seeking to combine Agile and predictive project management. But I'm not always sure if it is really happening because, again, the certification are dividing up again between traditional one and Agile. So I think we are in a certain, let's say, interesting field of tension between Agile and predictive, both coming together but still be distinct. Will be seen how this is going to be developed in the future as well. In any case, I think, yeah, it was interesting to see these different tendencies in terms of the standards that I have been looking at. Now, I thought myself, actually, what does it really mean for project managers? So I think with all these changes, probably a project manager needs to have much more insights, much more knowledge about the different methodologies. Knowing predictive, adaptive, iterative, all what's coming up might be really helpful. But there is also, I think, an important part of it that the project manager need to be able to tailor project management methodologies to the project. This has certainly been the case before, but I guess with all the different new methods, might be even more demanding, even more challenging as well. Another point that I think it's important as well, even though we speak always about project managers, they might take different roles in different environments. I don't think that a project manager is the same as a Scrum Master or a product owner. So there are different roles, but you as a project manager might face if you choose to use different methodologies in these different leading roles. And I don't think that's always easy to switch from one role to the other. On the other hand, I think also there is a higher demand to adapt quickly to the digital transformation. This goes quickly. We have also seen recently chat CTP that the new tools come up. What kind of relevance does this have for education and training? All this kind of skills need not to be considered for training, but also for the project managers, because they have these tools at disposal. They can use them, but they need to know how to use them. And this goes probably also with the last point, how to adapt to this virtual world as well, how to lead teams in a virtual world, but also in a present world and a hybrid world. All this becomes more challenging. So taken from here, I tried to also have some questions that we might also afterwards discuss in more details. So what is the level of the knowledge that project management have to have? They certainly need to have a broad knowledge. Probably they need to go also in depth, but how much, I don't know yet. And also to use different methods. It's really also about knowing what method is right at what point for what project. It's probably not going to be easy. There are indicators about the uncertainty and so on, but probably there might be some other influences that also define the methodology that you're going to be choosing. And again, from that, coming back to the role, what is your role in the project? What might be the leadership style that you have to add or to apply in a either hybrid, adaptive, or predictive project management approach? And also probably knowing your strengths as well might be important for a project manager. Or more, I don't think that a project manager can cover all. It's like you as a person do have different preferences. Probably you're more a predictive or more an agile type. That's to be seen as well. And do you have the right skills then afterwards to do that? So all these are important, and one I think it's even so important is how to create value. It's always said quite easily, but sometimes it's not that easy, I think, to really focus only on value. You have to also create documents, you have to create other things around the project, but what is really the value that you create at the end to the end users? So these are questions, and I think sometimes also project managers are not quite clear themselves. If I listen to discussions in forums or the conferences, they like to stick to old methods they know. They like to do what they have been doing so far, which is certainly okay, but will it be sufficient also at the end? Now, as I said, these are open questions that we further can discuss. What we did from our side, we try also to solve them for us. Well, I always think training consists of knowledge and also skill development. And that's something which we also try to tell our clients what we do. I think on the other hand of the knowledge, it's really also increasing the knowledge about the different tools and methodologies they have at hand. I think that's important. Then they know the strengths and weaknesses of all these methodologies, but also that they learn how to adapt that. And in this regard, we certainly also going to increase our contents on different tools, and especially on the digital learning content. But we will probably also in the long term change then the more going away from a primarily knowledge-based learning to a situational learning. That means that we really want to also with the e-learnings focus on skills and what they have to do. And these skills, they're certainly also important in the future, also in the instructor-led training, to discuss the different approaches that they have to really work on different approaches and how to apply them. I think the how becomes much more important than it has to be until now, and to focus on giving all the project managers the tools and the awareness to adapt to their knowledge and to their project management projects that they have to do. And again here, I think elaborate on what is value, what drives the value for a customer. That probably needs to be encounter more and more during the training as well. So probably also make the participants comfortable to use all the different tools, to elaborate, to try with them. That's going to be certainly important as well, but also that they are capable to find answers to their different situation. It has been certainly easy to go always back to a format that you know in project management, but as soon as you have to choose more and adapt them, it might be a little bit more challenging. But probably you will also have better results at the end, and that might also encourage then afterwards the project manager to widen up their skills in this regard. Now, before we go really to the discussions, and please feel to have them already answered in the chat. What we have done so far is that we are updating our products, and I'm gonna just shed a little light on it, and we will discuss it more in our next conference, and I'll show you the examples. But we have been investing a lot in the tools right now, while the exam PMP that has been already done in 2022, but we have created also new courses around the 3 domains that come up in the PMP exam. And we have done this more in line with the exam outline than with the PMVOC. So the 3 are now available. They are only in English. I'm going to elaborate further on that then afterwards as well. But now focus, especially in terms of PMI, will be the CAPM. We currently updating the exam, the CAPM, the exam simulator. We need to add more questions in terms of situational questions, as they call it, but we integrate also agile questions and business-related questions as well. Well, PMI wants especially PMP training to be instructor-led. That's the reason why we didn't focus too much on the e-learning. However, you understand right now that we do have more liberty in terms of the CAPM. CAPM that can be still done also with individual learning tools such as the e-learning courses. So that's the reason why also creating new e-learning course specific for CAPM and covering the 4 domains that are in the outline. So this is foreseen for first part of this year, even though we don't know yet when the exam is going to change. But some feedbacks from participants indicate that the questions already shift towards the new outline. So in terms of IPMA, we have done the following. We have created an exam simulator with specific agile questions for those who do this specific agile certification. And we also have an e-learning module that covers agile more in general to also supplement the learning process in terms of the exam. And our other courses, they're also on the constant revision. We created a new fundamentals, which is the current fundamentals, but includes the lessons of Agile Essentials. That gives a first insight of Agile project management methods that then further can be elaborated. And also we replaced the team leader course with the leading project teams, a course that also focuses more on the new tendencies that we have seen previously in the changes of the different standards. So I'm very happy also to invite you already now to the next seminar on the 16th of March, where we will present our new products, also more in depth as well. The mics probably that helps you afterwards also to have more insights. But feel free also to ask you any question in the meantime about the new products. With that, I would like to close the introduction here, and I hope to really have enough time also to really go back to your questions. Please also your comments. I will be happy also to learn more about what you experience in terms of the challenges in project management, and especially project management training. And yeah, also happy to open that. So I give it back to you. I don't know if you do have already some questions.
Yes, thank you, Patrick. Yes, we did receive a question from Frank Paulsen, and he asked if we make preparation courses for APM certifications and qualifications.
That's true. We are at the very beginning of that. We are collaborating with Resellers, as I said. They do have some public courses already, and we will further to collaborate to see what we can do as well. But if they have, if we do have also for the company the need to do project management training in APM, we will be able to do that as well. I have to admit, I'm not yet that much familiar with that. I'm reading into it, and I hope to have soon some questions, some answers as well to all the different questions in terms of APM. But if you do have specific needs, feel free to address that to us, and we will see how we can solve that together with our partner, Resellers.
Thank you.
Yes, and I already answered Orlando in the group chat. He asked if everything would be recorded and shared afterwards, and of course it will be. We are gonna share the presentation, the PowerPoint one, and also the video afterwards with everyone that has participated, as well as all of the partners and resellers that we have in our SCS contacts.
Okay. You have seen there is another question about Simultrain, a new release. That's true. We have been doing some changes, more like in the background, but Simultrain will certainly also be the focus on this year. We won't have a demonstration on that on the 16th yet, but we start really to work on the concept to include more and more different target audiences that we address. And then afterwards to come up with a concept and a new simulation. But it will take time, I have to admit here, because we are not that numerous. And but simulation for me, it's still an important product that we have. In terms of the new e-learning, some of them will be ready. Some of them will be ready for this 16th of March. So if you do have a specific need, just let us know. Address your questions to Larissa and Nadine. They will be able to answer that and either give you already access or then give you the date when it will be ready. Okay.
We have another question. Do you have projects of new simulations product launching in the long term?
For the time being, well, one of the topics that might just come up is always an agile project management simulation. We are not yet sure how we're going to deal with that. We certainly focus first of all on the existing one, but if we might have a solution also to include that, that would be the next step to do that. That's probably also in the long term. I think ideally would cover all the different methods in a simulation as well, but it's not always easy to have a good also pedagogical concept that make people understand them easily. Yeah. I hope that helps.
And yes, we do have a question from Peter. If you could please share some information about the transition approach for the exam simulator for SEAPM, since we had significant changes 2018 versus 2023.
Yeah, that's true. So the exam simulator will really be according to 4 domains of the ECO, CAPM, the exam content outline. So that would be the basis of it. There will be no ITTO or the input-output questions in there anymore. So it's less based on the knowledge, and there will be certainly more situational-based questions in there as well. So the number of questions will be reduced, but also then focus on the new ones. And also as business analysis and scope development is one of these 4 domains. We will work on that as well to have more questions on that, which has not been yet that elaborated so far.
And then we have a question from Dominic about PDU and PDUs with our e-learnings, if they're still possible, especially for PMP and CAPM courses.
Well, here you have to know that PMI has changed, especially for PMP. And since they want to do all the trainings, what they claim through ATPs, and ATPs use the material that is issued by PMI, there will be no, let's say, there will be still PDUs, but not content hours anymore for these courses. But if you do that after, once you have been certified, if you want to do a course, our courses are still registered. Now the PMP course, not anymore, that they refused that, but we might also split it up in different modules that you can use. Then afterwards, for example, once you have done the training. For CAPM course, if you talk here about contact hours, we simply do not know yet. My point of contact at PMI said that normally we are able to provide individual trainings that PMI would propose some, let's say, learning material, but you don't have to use it. So if this is going to be the case, CAPM will also provide contact hours to prepare themselves for the courses or for the certification preparation, and yeah, you can use them as well. But this is still not clear, I have to say, from PMI.
Okay, thank you. And we have another question about the new PMI standard, which is now mostly online behind payment barriers. And the question is if there are possibilities like Ritas or others to get the information and updates for outsiders.
Well, that's true. There is one thing you have to know about PMI as well. They have now, they are about to develop a database which is called PMI Standard Plus, which is an online database or library where you can find some more books. So what PMI has done with the processes of PMBOK 6, they put it in the practice guide of processes or something like that. And we still keep them in there as well, because also PMBOK 7 said that these process groups are still relevant and can be used if a project needs to be done this way as well. So we still have it in our e-learning, you can use them. They have been reduced a little bit, and they are now grouped according to the process group and not to the knowledge areas anymore, which has been already the case with us in our e-learnings. So our e-learnings keep them in there as well, the process groups. Probably not called that anymore this way, but the processes that are relevant are seen there as well. So that's in there. And if you are a PMI member, then you have to register yourself on the website, and you can also access the new library, the PMI Standard Plus, to make sure that you have access to the new standards and practice guide, as they call them as well. Yeah.
And I think we have a question directly from Frank. You can speak whenever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Patrick.
Hi, Frank.
When you spoke about training of project managers in the future, the way I heard it was that we have to learn the project managers to choose the right PM method. You call it descriptive, I maybe call it waterfall or agile. But when I listen to Danish companies, it's much more about okay, everybody turns into agile, but now they are talking more and more hybrid. So maybe we should learn the project managers to work hybrid and, you know, not to go in one direction or the other ones. And okay, you said something about it, and maybe in the end they will understand that, but maybe we could help them do the mix.
You're probably right. And I really can support it as well. My point was more like we need to do hybrid. You need to know predictive and you need to know agile, and then you know exactly when it makes sense to apply agile and when to apply predictive methods as well. But at the end, I think so too, and a lot of bigger companies that I've been talking to as well, they're looking to kind of this mixed or hybrid approach. Some of the project management planning need to be probably done in the predictive way, while the execution of some tasks will be much more agile. And this is exactly, I think, also the way that at the end project management we go to. But here again, once you are the project manager on an agile on the planning phase, you have to be probably a different role or a different person once as compared to leading an agile team to work on a different task. And I think that's going to be the big challenge for the project manager to really know when to take what role, when to apply what kind of methodology. So that, but I think too there will be a mixture, and there will be hybrid that will be probably more important in the future. Yeah. Thanks, Frank, for this comment as well.
Yeah, thanks for the answer.
Okay. Do we have some more questions? Sorry. So,
Yes, I think, no, not in the chat. And I just wrote that if anyone wants to ask you directly something, it's also possible. Just maybe use the raise your hand button so that we can see it. If not, I think we went through all of the questions and all of the subjects. So thank you. Thank you very much for participating and for being so many here today. And I'm actually very happy also to see you during the next webinar that is going to really be focused on the products. So Patrick already had like a little bit of an introduction about it, but it's going to be really focused on this and all of the news and the updates and all of the projects we are currently working and have been working since a long time. So yeah, we are happy to show you as well the results about this. And thank you very much. I don't know if Patrick, you want to say something before leaving the webinar?
Yeah. No, I would also express my gratitude. Thanks for joining us, for your interest. I also would like to thank Nimili and also Sarah to help me in that. And I hope that we really can continue this kind of exchange in the future as well. So please let us know also about your thoughts, about your wishes in the future. Our intent is really to foster this community that we have as well. Be happy to have you at one of the next conferences here as well. So thank you for you as well. Okay.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.